Hello everyone and welcome to the channel. So today I do want to have a special video and I do want to talk about 5 players who I believe should take a step down or leave FC Barcelona next season. So it's going to be a very interesting video, yet a very debatable video. And so we are going to start with the defense and then we're going to move to the midfield and then the forward line. And so the first defender that I want to talk about is Samuel Umtiti. And Umtiti is a player where we questioned in every match where we said, when are we really going to see the real Samuel Umtiti? And we have signed Samuel Umtiti back in 2016 and we have not seen the Umtiti that played in the World Cup of 2018. And one of the biggest factors onto why we haven't seen that Umtiti is because of his injuries. He has had a total of 8 long-term injuries over the past 3.5 seasons, and it has been one of the most frustrating things to see. And I also want to point out one thing is that I believe the main reason why we saw the signing of Lenglet was because of Samuel Umtiti's injuries. Because if you think about it, Samuel Umtiti went through 2 injuries in the 2016-2017 season, and then in the 2017-2018 season he got another 2 injuries, and then the following season after that, which was the 2018-2019 season, Lenglet was signed. And that is when Barcelona saw that and they're like, okay, fine, if Umtiti is going to get 2 injuries every season, let's sign Lenglet the following season, which was the 2018-2019 season. So in the eyes of FC Barcelona, Umtiti cannot be trusted. And so now we are here, we are in a place where Samuel Umtiti might leave FC Barcelona. And one of the requirements that Barcelona have been looking for when they are looking for their next center back is that they want him to be fast, they want him to be quick and able to cope with the fast-paced players. And Umtiti is not that type of player to do that. He's not the fastest defender in the world. He does have the physicality, but when he's playing against players like Mane or Salah or Valverde, Umtiti is not able to match them in terms of speed and pace. And we need a center back like that. So Barcelona has to really ask themselves, do we continue to bet on Umtiti, or should we sign a center back that can put pressure and bring healthy competition to players like Paqueta, Lenglet, and potentially even Todibo and Araujo? And I really do want that to happen. I do want that healthy competition in the back line, so it is best to see Umtiti leave next season. Now moving on to the next player, and I want to talk about Paqueta. So Paqueta is not a player that I want to see leave next season. I actually do want him to take a step down at FC Barcelona. So Paqueta is 33 years old, right? And I do have a love and hate relationship with this player. I am grateful for what Paqueta brought to the club. He won 3 UCLs. He won 2 trebles in the process of that. But now it is time to take a step down, because right now Barcelona is in a transitional period. And when you are in a transitional phase, players need to step down and make room for the next generation. And Paqueta has to be one of those players. And Paqueta has the potential to play a huge role at the club, but in a different way, not necessarily by stepping on the field. But Paqueta's greatest weapon that he will forever have and that will never be taken away is winning experience. And he can take that experience and use that to become a teacher, a leader for the next generation of players like Todibo, Araujo, Lenglet, and then whoever else we sign in the future. And that is what I mean by Paqueta playing a huge role next season. And if Paqueta does choose to go in this path, he will greatly benefit himself, and not only that, but greatly benefit FC Barcelona. I don't want to see him leave FC Barcelona next season. I do actually want him to stay until his legs completely give out and retire at FC Barcelona. So the best solution for him is to take a step down and make wave for the next generation of players. Now the next player that I want to talk about is Ivan Rakitic. And so this is a no-brainer. Ivan Rakitic did overstay at his time in FC Barcelona, and he is just getting worse by the season. And I don't know if it's just me, but ever since he scored that goal against Juventus in the final in 2015, everything else went downhill for Ivan Rakitic. And could we have seen Rakitic leave earlier from FC Barcelona? Yes, but then that is when Valverde came along and coached FC Barcelona. And when Valverde came in, Rakitic became an untouchable starter in FC Barcelona, because there was a time period where Valverde never took off Rakitic in the starting 11, and that made many fans extremely frustrated. And don't get me wrong, Rakitic has done nothing bad at FC Barcelona, but he also hasn't done anything good at FC Barcelona. And that's the problem. He hasn't done anything, right? Because right now we have De Jong, who provides the amazing passes. We have Arthur, who provides those final third passes. We have Vidal, who provides the pressing, the defending. And then we look at Rakitic and then we question, why did we sign Ivan Rakitic? But now I believe that football is telling us that Rakitic will be leaving the club next season, and we have seen hints of that throughout this whole season. We have the report that came out where Ivan Rakitic said that they have taken the ball away from me. We have also seen Rakitic's role being minimized in the club under Quique Setién, and then we have also seen reports of Barcelona warning Ivan Rakitic that if he continues to stay next season, his role will be even more minimized, meaning they will take even more minutes from Ivan Rakitic, and Rakitic does not want that. In no way does Ivan Rakitic want to experience less minutes, so it is best for Ivan Rakitic to leave the club, and I believe that is what's going to happen. Rakitic will leave next season, and so whatever club he goes to next season, I hope that he does well. I wish him a lot of luck, but yeah, his time is over at FC Barcelona. Now moving on to the next player, and we are going to talk about Arturo Vidal. And when we talk about Arturo Vidal, right, I have no friction with Vidal. I have nothing against him. I actually don't even want him to exit, even though I do have him on the list. But the reason why I'm saying that he will be a player to exit FC Barcelona is because he wants to play. And let me explain what I mean by that. So back in the 2018-2019 season, there was a moment where Barcelona did not use Vidal as much as we promised him. And this is what he had to say: how can I be happy if I don't play? And me of all people. Then fast forward to November 2019, which is about 4 months ago, he said this: a lot of games have gone by where I haven't played, and this makes me sad. So Vidal has never been shy to say that he wants to play on the field. And as badly as I want to say that Vidal should take a step down from the club, Vidal will not accept that. Vidal wants to be a starter in any club and play the full 90 minutes. And it's almost the same story as Ivan Rakitic, but the only difference is that Vidal actually has a say and he actually deserves to play on the field for the full 90 minutes. And he shows why he should be on the field. And the other reason why I put him on the list on Vidal leaving FC Barcelona next season is because Barcelona currently is looking for a player who has legs. And don't get me wrong, Vidal is that type of player, but I believe this switch will happen because of two reasons. One is because Vidal wants to have the minutes, he wants to play on the field. And the second reason is that Vidal is aging and Barcelona wants to de-age their squad. Barcelona want to bring a player with legs. They want to start him off on the bench, not necessarily be in the starting 11 yet, but they do want to have a player with legs like Arturo Vidal, have him become a impact player and also be a young player who can serve FC Barcelona for the next 6 years. And so Barcelona is looking past Arturo Vidal. They do want to find a player that's around 22 to 26 years old. So there's more reasons why Vidal could leave FC Barcelona than there are reasons that Vidal will stay at FC Barcelona. And that is why I put him on the list. So should we expect Vidal to accept a smaller role? No, I don't think so. And let me know what you guys think. Do you guys think that Vidal will stay at FC Barcelona and play a smaller role? Or do you see Vidal leaving this summer? Now, the last player that I want to talk about is Luis Suarez. Luis Suarez is the greatest number 9 that has ever wore a Barcelona shirt. He has won us 1 UCL in the process, and Suarez is a player that I don't want to see being sold this summer. I want him to stay, which means that I want Luis Suarez to take a step down next season and to see out his contract in 2021. And don't get me wrong, I did want to see Luis Suarez leave last season, but I'm going to explain why my mind has changed. So Luis Suarez has been very inconsistent, right? He goes from making great link up plays with other players at FC Barcelona, and then the next game he contributes absolutely nothing. And Suarez has been falling off on the one thing that he's very good at and the reason why we signed him for, and that is scoring goals. His goals have been depreciating, and if we look at the stats of Luis Suarez in La Liga, we can see that his goals have been depreciating since signing with FC Barcelona. We can see that little spike up after the 2014-2015 season, but right after that we can see that his goals depreciated depreciate little by little. And it's not the worst stats in the world, but I don't want Luis Suarez to overstay and play at the club until his legs completely give out. I want Luis Suarez to have a graceful ending at this club, and I don't want his ending to hurt his legacy at FC Barcelona, which is why the best way and the best solution for Luis Suarez to do that is by taking a step down at the club. And by taking a step down at the club, he will be able to mentor and become a teacher for the next generation of attacking players. And that is why I say that I want Luis Suarez to take a step down and not be sold. And so at 33 years old, his role can still be important, just like Paqueta, like what we talked about earlier, but not for the same reasons. And we can also have Luis Suarez become a super sub at the club. So maybe, for example, we signed Lautaro Martinez, he plays for 70 minutes, and then we have Luis Suarez coming in later in the game. So there's many solutions, many different ways Luis Suarez can approach it next season, and that is why I say Luis Suarez should take a step down for the better of the club. So that is my list. Let me know if you guys agree with the list that I showed you guys in this video, and do you guys agree with the roles that I gave to Luis Suarez and Gerard Piqué? Let me know what you guys think. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in my next video.